Hey everyone, my name is Daniel. In this video, we'll take a look at the inventory tool available in Power Platform Admin Center. This is currently in preview, available in your Power Platform Admin Center under Manage, and over here you will see Inventory. This is where you can see a list of your agents, Canvas apps, and other features. So stick around. This is very important, especially for you Power Platform admins. But first, here's my intro video. So before we jump into the Maker Inventory tool, I do want to spend just a little bit of time taking a look at the Center of Excellence Toolkit. Because as of right now, this is still very important. So I don't want you to say that, hey, Daniel said that the Maker Inventory tool is there. That means I can just completely ignore the COE Toolkit. No, that is not what I'm saying. I still recommend that if you are using Power Platform, you absolutely should have the Center of Excellence Toolkit. And this is why. Because once you've installed it and you come over here into this model-driven apps, you get a quick overview, a dashboard of all your apps and your flows. In addition, when you go to individual one of them, you can actually see these are all the apps that are there, these are all the flows that I have, the environments, so on and so forth. In fact, it also goes and grabs a whole bunch of metadata. This is when you can click on this edit columns and grab all of this additional information that you have. So the COE toolkit is still there to stay. I highly recommend that you use it, but you really need to be familiar with it, because a couple of things that even I have to do is in this solution, you specifically need to go to the core components, because that's the one that we have. Once you go in over here, you'll be able to see all the flows that are required in the back end to successfully pull all this information from all your environments. And for each of that process, there is a separate flow. Like here's one for specifically for apps. Here's another one for flows. Here's another one for PVA. Now mine still calls PVA because the COE toolkit is a little old, but you get the point. In the back end, there are flows that go ahead and pull all this information. Now you have the flexibility to go ahead and tweak the schedule of these flows, but this is something that happens in the back end and you are responsible for that. And you own the data because all of this information is stored in your Dataverse in the environment that you've gone ahead and dedicated specifically for the COE. However, the Maker Inventory tool does one thing and it does it very well. So now that you understand the importance of that, let's spend the rest of the time focusing on it. To get access to the Maker Inventory tool, you will need to be in the Power Platform Admin Center, which means you will need that Power Platform admin role. Okay? After that, you come over here under the home, you go select on the manage, and here you will see inventory. And to the right, you are able to see all of these items. Now, these are literally all the items that I have in my tenant right now. And it goes ahead and pulls it all of this information. Now, before I jump into the details over here, here's something very interesting that I learned at the Power Platform Community Conference. Internally, the PG, the product group that owns the Power Platform Admin Center, specifically this inventory tool, they went to their number 0 customer, which is their internal Microsoft Power Platform admin team. They reached out to them and they lit up this feature in their internal tenant. And you know what? Internally, they have 1.6 million of these items. It was so interesting because their internal Power Platform admin team member actually came up on the stage and showed that to us. Here's a screenshot of what they showed on the stage. And I was pleasantly surprised by that, because if they can internally use it at such a high volume, they are very confidently saying, hey, let's now release this to our customers to see the feedback and the utilization that they do. So I wanted to call that out because this has already been tested internally at Microsoft at their high volume. Keep in mind though, this is currently in preview, which means there will be some improvements, but I highly recommend that you start testing it right now. Okay, so here is what you see in my own personal tenant, all right? I'm just gonna go and collapse this over here so we can get a good overview. And what I see is over here in the item type, the agent, I see Canvas apps, and as I scroll down, I also see model-driven apps. So I see that there's a lot of information coming over here. On the right side, I'm seeing this option over here for add and remove columns. So when I click on it, I can see that I have all of these other functionalities. So if this is the first time that you're coming in and you don't have all of these column options lit up, you can go and do that. See, in fact, for some reason, I actually do not have the created by, so I'm going to turn that on. And if I click on save, you will see that now when I scroll to the right, I have all of these other information, such as the region where it is located, the environment ID, the environment type, and the one thing that you'll be very pleasantly surprised with is on the right, it's telling me, hey, which one of these are managed and unmanaged, which means Microsoft for this tool doesn't care if your environment is of a managed or unmanaged type. Because I know we've seen Microsoft do this time and again, that they're only releasing all of these features such as groups and environment groups and rules and all of that only for managed environments. However, this is an administrative reporting tool. So for that scenario, they've actually released it for all of environment types. That is a very good thing. I really like that Microsoft has gone ahead and released this for all environment types. Other thing you can see over here is I have the option to go ahead and download it. So if I select it, it basically downloads it as a CSV file so you can go and get the information that you want. On the top right, there is also a search bar. So if I were to just go and do something for, say, Lego, because I build a lot of examples based on Lego, it's able to go ahead and filter it directly down to all this information. Now, Microsoft in this documentation, in the Learn More, when you go and click on it, it actually very clearly states that it's only able to go and pull in up to 1,000 of this information. And to make sure that you don't miss anything, always go ahead and apply additional filters. So right over here, if I go and select this one, I'm able to filter by the agent or the Canvas app and things like that. I can also go and make sure for the environment, I'm specifically filtering it by the environment type. So yes, you've got a limit of 1,000, but that can actually work if you already go and apply some filters, then you know that you are in the 1,000 range for it to work. That's a very important thing, especially for you all companies where your list is really growing. Like you are starting to go way above those thousands because you have all of these other items over here. Keep that in mind that it's only able to pull 1,000 at a time for right now in the preview section, and maybe in the later, it will be able to pull a whole lot more. Another thing that caught my attention in this learning documentation is how fast it can pull this information. So by the time you've gone ahead and created, updated, or modified that app, it should pull it within 15 minutes. Now, that is a very bold statement because I know in the Center of Excellence Toolkit out of the box, the flows would actually run in a 24 hours increments. Now, I know I've gone ahead and tweaked it so it runs a little bit shorter, but out of the box on the COE Toolkit, it's every 24 hours. So I think we should test this right now. And I'm going to go ahead and select a Canvas app. All right, so let's do that together. I'm going to open up another tab right over here. I'm going to go into make.powerapps.com. My IntelliSense already went and populated that. So yeah, I think I'll go and just change it for now, the environment. Let's go and select this one, all right? Christian Family Dev USA. This is one of my environments over here. I know for a fact that this is actually an unmanaged environment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this create and I'm going to go and say start with a blank canvas. Yeah, sure, I'll make it responsive. It'll come right over here. And I'm actually going to do some testing deliberately, all right? I will not actually add any features over here in the Canvas app. I'll just go and click on the skip. Over here in the settings, I'm going to give it this app name. I'm going to say live demo, and I'm going to put in today's date, all right? Because this is November 16th, 2025. And the time right now, I'm recording this video is at 2 in the afternoon at 11 minutes, all right? So I'm going to keep it all over here. And I'm going to just come in right side and I'm going to go and click on close. All right, so click on close. The name got selected over here and I'm not going to publish it. I'm just going to click on save. All right, these are the things I deliberately did. Once again, gave it a name with a timestamp. I also went ahead and deliberately did not put any of these controls or any of these features in it and also went and saved it. Now let's come back over here on the PPAC side. You can always rewind back and see that initially I only had 450 because I didn't do any refreshes. So now I'm going to just click on refresh just to see how fast. And voila, right over here, okay? I think we just crossed a minute, but we definitely stayed in that 15-minute increment over here, okay? This is very, very impressive. Even for someone like me who has seen a lot of things on the Power Platform Admin Center, I am blown out of my mind how fast this thing works, all right? This definitely earned my respect. But just to make sure, all right, this is what it is. That was the app. I put in today's date and time. And right now on my computer, I actually have it as 212. So within a minute, all right, it went in and pulled that app. Keeping in mind that I didn't even have to publish the app. I went ahead and just saved it and immediately pulled it over here. This is how powerful this maker inventory tool is. Now I showed you this example over here on the Canvas app. It is very similar over here also for the agents. Now, there are a few things that it currently does not do, and therefore it is important for you and me to spend the rest of this time taking a look at this Learn More document. So I've gone and clicked on that. I've taken this link, put it down in the description below as well. It's a really good documentation, keeping in mind this is currently in preview. So as I scroll down, right over here it says this is in preview, which means it's not really meant for production. But keep in mind, this is not really doing any tasks or changes to your system. It is just pulling the information over here. So this being available in preview really isn't any harm, but I would not put this as your single source of information. And therefore I emphasize that there's COE toolkit, you should still have it over there. Go ahead and get the information, but you can start testing and playing with this. So here it is, okay? See, the Power Platform inventory includes agents created in Copilot Studio, and it also includes Power Apps, which includes the Canvas apps, model-driven apps, and the code apps. Other things that are coming out soon are on the Power Automate, Cloud Flows, and then in the future, Desktop Flows. However, it's Ignite next week, so all of this may be lighting up much faster. We'll just have to wait and see. What I want you to be aware of is that you scroll down over here, in the key features section, this is where I was able to pull that information, is that the fast updates happens within 15 minutes. In the demo that you just saw me do, that Canvas app was pulled in a minute's time, but it can take up to 15 minutes. This is something Microsoft is documenting over there, so you at least have to give that 15-minute grace period. But as I scroll down, the one thing that I want you all to be aware of is right over here in the known limitations. You see that the classic bots are not included. You immediately know which one is a classic bot because now most of them are the newer bots. But if it's a classic bot, it will specifically tell you that this type of bot is a classic bot, and that will not show up in your inventory list over here. Also things such as your unpublished model-driven apps, they will not show up. Only the published ones will show up. So there is this slight discrimination between the Canvas app that I did. It saved it. It was not published, but it showed up. For the model-driven app, the unpublished ones will not show up. You have to go and do that. You have to go and take care of that. So some of these things, you got to keep that in mind. But I don't want to end on the sad note. There is one additional great feature that comes along with it, giving you API access to actually pull all of this information. Because yes, out of the box, you have this GUI interface, right? You're able to see it as a table. You can go ahead and add columns, remove columns. You can go ahead and do all of this filtering, and you can even do an export. But if you have the need to go ahead and pull this information into anywhere else, even into your own Power BI report, you've got the flexibility to go ahead and make direct API calls over here. And there's different ways to do it. You can basically come in, here's the API endpoint. You can use this JSON queries to go and pull all of that. You can filter it down so you can just pull the information in on every rows of 100 and also run these type of clauses, these queries to just get very specific information. All of this functionality you have available at your fingertips if the out-of-the-box report is not enough for you. This is pretty neat because from the get-go, they're giving us end users, IT professionals, all the flexibility to get the data and then use it however we want it. It is very interesting to note that the team, the product group that owns the Power Platform admin, they are closely watching that Center of Excellence toolkit. And every once in a while, they will take some important tools from there and add it to the PPAC. We've seen that before and we're seeing that again over here. This maker inventory one is such a powerful and a very useful feature that is available in the COE toolkit, and they've unplugged it from there and put it over here in the PPAC. Keep in mind though that it is currently in preview, and I highly recommend that you use both of them with your COE toolkit first on that side. All right, so as a quick recap, you first of all need the Power Platform admin role to go ahead and see this maker inventory site. Second one is it has a limit of only pulling in 1,000 rows at a time. So start becoming familiar with those filters, and then the search over there will be able to work every 1,000 at a time. Currently, this is in preview, so I know it works for the Canvas apps, I know it works for the model-driven apps, it works for the agents, but other features do not work yet. However, Ignite is next week, so all of these other features will light up very soon. Keep in mind, this is currently in preview. And last, there are some subtle differences. So take a look at that learning documentation. Because for example, in that Canvas app, I didn't publish it. I just went ahead and saved it and it showed up on the inventory side. However, for the model-driven apps, you've got to go ahead and publish it over there. So there are those slight nuances that you need to be aware of. However, all in all, this is awesome. I am so excited about that. I cannot wait for this thing to go live. And hopefully you as Power Platform admins will start to leverage this as well. And as always, keep using Power Platform.
Hey, if you have a few seconds, can you click on that like button and even consider subscribing it? Because it's just 2 easy clicks for you, but boy, it makes a big difference for me. Also, if you don't mind, can you put in a comment below? Because that really boosts this video up to reach a higher audience. And once again, thank you for watching this video.